On a quiet hill, a small hedgehog named Pip peered up at the twinkling sky and wondered if the stars could truly hear his wishes. Pip was a very timid hedgehog, often hiding amongst the tall grasses, afraid of the rustling wind and the shadows of the trees. Every night, he would watch the stars, wishing he could be braver, wishing he could explore the world beyond his small, familiar patch of land. He dreamed of adventures and faraway places, but his little heart would always fill with a touch of fear. Would the stars ever grant his wish? Would he ever overcome his timidity and venture beyond his comfort zone? One night, during the softest of twilight, as the last rays of sun painted the sky in gentle hues of pink and gold, Pip felt unusually brave. He decided to take a small step, to venture a little further than usual. With a deep breath, he began his journey. He stumbled along the familiar path, the scent of wildflowers filling the air, and his tiny claws pattering on the soft earth. The crickets chirped their evening song, a comforting chorus in the growing darkness. Pip willed himself to walk on, thinking about his nightly stargazing and his longing for bravery. He was even a little less afraid of the rustling leaves now. As he walked, the path began to climb, leading him up a gentle slope he hadn't noticed before, as he was always hiding. At the top of the hill, a sight unfolded before him that made his eyes widen in wonder. Hidden amongst the old, tall trees, in a small clearing, was a grove unlike any he had ever imagined. The air shimmered with a soft, ethereal glow, and the trees were adorned with tiny, sparkling lights. This was no ordinary grove, this was something truly extraordinary. Pip had never seen anything so magical, and for the first time, his fear was overshadowed by pure, unadulterated curiosity. As he cautiously entered the Starlight Grove, the source of the glow became clear. Tiny, friendly firefly dragons, no bigger than his thumb, danced in the air, their lights twinkling like miniature stars. They flitted gracefully among the trees, their wings leaving trails of shimmering dust. Pip watched, mesmerized, as they played amongst themselves, their laughter sounding like tiny bells. He felt a small smile bloom on his face. It was such a beautiful, happy, and peaceful place. He forgot all his troubles and felt safe in this magical, beautiful surrounding, like a special dream. One of the firefly dragons, a bright and cheerful little fellow with emerald green lights, noticed Pip. It approached him slowly, its light flickering gently. "Hello," it chirped in a tiny voice. "Welcome to the Starlight Grove." Pip, still a little shy, managed a small, hesitant hello back. The firefly dragon, whose name was Sparkle, explained that the grove glowed every night to teach creatures about bravery through kindness. "We show everyone around here that kindness can help you through anything," Sparkle twinkled again. "But only the kind and brave ones can find their way here." Sparkle then explained that the firefly dragons had a special challenge for him. It was a challenge designed to help him overcome his fears, big or small. The challenge involved helping the other creatures in the grove. "Your kindness will lead you there," Sparkle said. Pip, his heart filled with a newfound sense of hope, agreed to the challenge. He knew this was the start of something amazing. For the first time, helping others seemed like a great opportunity for him to be brave. After all, he was amongst friendly firefly dragons. He would feel safe surrounded with kindness. The first task was to help a grumpy badger who had lost his favorite acorn. Pip, despite his initial nervousness, remembered what Sparkle shared with him, took a deep breath, and set off to help. He carefully searched the forest floor for the acorn, his little nose twitching as he sniffed the earth. After a little searching, Pip found it, and although the badger was still grumpy, he was thankful for the help. Pip realized the joy of helping someone else and how it helped him be somewhat braver than when the day started. The badger's smile began when Pip appeared with the acorn, and seemed a little less grumpy after. Next, Pip used his gentle heart to help a lonely little bird who had lost its way back to its nest. He guided the bird carefully, speaking in soothing tones, until they reached its home safely in the tall trees. This made Pip feel a little less scared, especially when doing something for others. The little bird chirped, thanking him with a sweet melody before joining its family group for a bedtime rest. The journey had instilled trust in Pip, and he felt a warm sensation in his heart that he had never felt before, like a tiny sun starting in his chest and spreading its warmth. With each act of kindness, Pip felt his fear melt away, replaced by a growing feeling of strength. Sparkle and the other firefly dragons watched with pride, their lights dancing with joy. As the night progressed, Pip helped a family of rabbits build their burrow and even shared some delicious berries with a hungry fox. He had found a voice, and a purpose, in helping others. The timid Pip had transformed into a gentle, kind, and truly brave hedgehog, full of goodwill. He went from being scared on the hill to someone who could help others in the forest. At the end of the night, as the first rays of dawn began to peek over the horizon, Sparkle approached Pip. "You did it, Pip," he chirped. "You have shown us that true bravery comes from kindness and compassion." The other firefly dragons buzzed around him, their lights shining brightly. Pip felt an overwhelming sense of warmth and happiness. This adventure was teaching him that bravery wasn't about the absence of fear, but about facing your fears with kindness. He was so happy with how the night had gone and was ready to go home and sleep. As Pip began to walk back home, back to the hill, he knew that he would never be the same again. His heart expanded, he no longer felt the fear, the timidity had completely left him. He looked back at the Starlight Grove with a grateful smile. The memory, the starlight, the friends he made would forever be in his mind. He knew that kindness was a magical key, unlocking a world of friendship, and a key to overcoming his fears. He was ready to face whatever came his way, and his wishes from the night sky were answered. Pip skipped home finally. When the sky was a beautiful color of dawn in all its glory, Pip arrived safely back at his burrow. He snuggled into his bed of soft leaves, his dreams filled with the twinkling lights of the friendly firefly dragons and the happy faces of the creatures he had helped. Pip closed his eyes and drifted off to sleep, feeling braver, kinder, and ready for a new day. And as you close your eyes, little ones, remember Pip's adventure. Sweet dreams, and may your hearts be filled with kindness and courage.